There you are, the Discovery Channel.
A brilliant webmaster. A freak accident. A moment of illumination.
Computers on TV!
Yes. Suddenly, a geeky nerd transforms into someone marginally less geeky. The Weekly Webster on EXNTV.
I must have done something to it. Put the CD. Hi and welcome to EXNTV. You know, if you've got a home computer, put down the remote and enjoy. This is the show for you. Now here's what's on tonight. Starship Titanic, the great new adventure from Douglas Adams, the creator of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This game allows you to converse with the characters.
There are 10,000 different lines of dialogue, different responses, about 16 hours of the stuff. So you can talk to these bots for a long time.
We'll talk to Douglas and review the game. A quarter century ago, this book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, made its author, Douglas Adams, a beloved literary figure. Now there is a new Douglas Adams book out called Starship Titanic, but he didn't write it. Terry Jones from Monty Python did. However, it is based on a new computer game by Douglas Adams called, you guessed it, Starship Titanic. Well, we're talking now to Douglas Adams about Starship Titanic. The first question, I guess, is at this point, why a game after all the books, the movie, television, radio?
Because I like changing. You know, when I started out, I was doing radio and television and a stage and a book and a computer game and all those kinds of things. And then because of the success of what I now call That Damn Book, it meant that I had to do another book, then another book, then another book, then another book. And after a while, I began to think, hang on, I seem to be spending an awful lot of my adult life sitting in a room typing.
Right.
And everybody thinks you're having a wonderful, glamorous life because you're a successful author. But you're typing, and you say, please, can I go out and sort of go and have a swim or something? There's no more typing. So I thought, no, I want to do something that's fun for a bit. And I mean, the thing is, a book is, it is a very solitary activity. This is a very collaborative thing. You're collaborating with sort of writers, program writers and software people and incredibly clever frighteningly clever guys and artists and so on. And it was terrific. I mean, I had a great time. And then, of course, the final collaboration is with the player, because unlike a movie, where once you've made the movie, you can show it to an audience of 1,000 ecstatic people in the movie, or you can show it to an empty movie theater. It's the same movie. This depends what the player does. You know, the player is the last sort of component that you collaborate with.
Now, were you involved throughout the process?
Oh yeah,
all the time with the programmers?
Absolutely. I mean, I've been on it for about 2 years, and I would say it's been about 85% of my activity in that time. So, which I have to say is much, much more than I thought it was going to take. If I'd known it was going to be 2 years out of my life, and particularly, I mean, I guess the thing that was the most demanding in terms of time was the language engine that we put at the heart of it. Now, many years ago, I did a game with a company called Infocom, which was a text-only version of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And it was great fun, because with these games, you were involved in a kind of virtual conversation between the game and the player. And that's a very kind of compelling thing. Now we've got graphics games, and now games now look gorgeous. I mean, I guess the one that caught my attention was Myst, which is it's a fantastic environment, beautifully realized, fantastical world. But you wander around, and the one thing that seems to be missing is the thing that the old text adventures really excelled in, which is that real interaction. So I thought, well, let's try and unite them. I'm a writer, you know, let's try and bring conversation into these games. Now, you have to raise the bar a lot, because the technology available to you now to do this kind of thing is vastly greater than we had 12 years ago. So building this language engine that enables you to go and talk to any of the robots, it really was a Herculean task, and it was myself and actually 2 other writers, because we ended up this is a year's work for all of us doing it. And what happens is you come up with a sort of first script that covers all the bases you need to do, what the characters need to do and what the player is likely to input. And you write the script, you record it, get the actors in, fold it back into the software, see if it works. And it seems to consist almost entirely of gaps. You know, most of the things you try, the robots say, no, don't understand that, don't understand that, don't understand that. So you go through another iteration, you do it again, then you do it again, then you do it again, then you do it again. It takes about a year. And at the end of that, it's rather like, you know, if you show somebody a photograph, then another picture, then another picture, then another picture. And at some point, it gets up to about 16 frames per second, and hey presto, you've got motion. And with this iterative process of building up the script, building up another layer, suddenly you get to the point where, hey presto, you've got conversation. And it's kind of magic. And, but I mean, the scale of the task is there are 10,000 different lines of dialogue, different responses, about 16 hours of the stuff. So you can talk to these bots for a long time.
Yes, no. And the other thing I noticed about some of the things you're talking to, there's a fair amount of Monty Python elements in here. It sounded like John Cleese was the bomb.
Well, I don't know who this John Cleese person is that everybody refers to. We had an actor called Kim Bread who came in and did that for us. But we do have Terry Jones, who is also a Python. And he plays the part of the parrot, which is in many ways the part he was born to play. I mean, in fact, Terry said that every previous part he'd played as a parrot, and this is the first time he'd actually played an actual parrot. I mean, you know, if you think back to, you know, Life of Brian, where Terry played, amongst other things, Mandy, mother of Brian, you know. He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy! And it's clearly a parrot.
Yeah.
So he plays a part of this parrot, and does a sort of wonderful job.
Now, he also wrote the book?
Well, yeah, I mean, here's a weird thing, because, you know, I was absolutely engaged in writing this game. That was kind of what I'd signed up to do. I never, ever wanted to do that thing of, yeah, I write a book and sign it over to somebody else to do the computer game. I wanted to do the game. And having done that, I mean, well, having embarked on that, you know, the publishers then say, well, the book's got to come out at the same time as the game. I said, well, I can't do that. I'm going to do the game first, and then I can do the book. And they say, well, it's got to come out at the same time. You know, marketing logic says it's got to come out at the same time. So I said, well, I can't do it then. They said, well, you have to get somebody else to do it. So Terry said, well, I'll do it. So I said, thank you, Terry, thank you, thank you. And he did a great, great job. But on the other hand, I also feel a little bit jealous, because it was my story and I kind of wanted to do my story.
But when you look at the book, it's certainly, your name is at the top of the book. And
yeah, well, it's Douglas Adams's Starship Titanic, a novel by Terry Jones. And
yeah, marketing again.
yeah.
Well, listen, thank you very much for stopping by, and hopefully all our viewers look forward to playing Starship Titanic.
Thank you.
Thank you.